What's going on, everybody? I'm Tony. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be getting the bikes ready for the next round of the CMRA Championship. Now, I don't know if it's technically round 2 or round 5. It's supposed to be round 5, but with everything going on with COVID-19, you know, we kind of put a halt on the season, but we are underway. We're finally getting back out on the track, and I could not be any more excited. Before I get out on the track though, both bikes need a little bit of love. If you caught my last video, I'll go ahead and link it right up here, where I did the top speed run on the Honda Grom. I put some of the street stuff back on it. Well, that's gotta come back off in order for it to be race ready. And I've also got a little bit that I need to do here to the Ninja 300. Now, if you did catch that last video, I also mentioned that my Honda Grom is actually set up in GP shift. So first gear is up and then you kick down for second, third, and fourth, whereas my Ninja 300 is standard shift. I want both my bikes to be the same, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my Ninja 300 set up to GP shift, so hopefully everything runs smooth there. I'm also gonna try and be a little bit proactive and get the gearing set up on the Ninja 300. So right now, I've still got the gearing from the New Orleans track on the back of the bike. So I gotta pop that rear sprocket off, throw the 55 tooth on the rear, and that should be good to go. But fingers crossed everything goes smooth, and then we'll take the bike out for a ride when it's all done. With the rear sprocket done, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to this rear set and start transitioning it over to GP shift. My Grom is currently GP shift. I would like to have it standard, but something's going on with it. I don't know why I can't get it set up to standard shift. So I'm gonna go ahead and convert this to GP shift so that both of my bikes are the same. All right, GP shift done. On a Ninja 300, going GP shift is really easy. On most bikes, it's really easy. All you have to do is take the knuckle right down here and flip it upside down. So normally this is down here. So loosen that up, flip it upside down. If you take a look back at that B-roll, you should be able to see it. Now, one thing that I do want to call out, I like to keep everything clean, and I wanted to keep this little piece right here. In order to do that, I had to chop off the bottom section there, but not too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab a little bit of gear, and even though it's a race bike, I'm gonna zip this around the neighborhood, chat about a couple of things, and we will be ready for the next round of racing. I'm excited. Hopefully you are too. Let's go ahead and grab a helmet, grab some gear, and we'll get out on the road.
So it's a 300, but it's got some pep. It's got a little bit of go. So I'm gonna zip around the neighborhood just a little bit, just outside the neighborhood. I should be okay. But if you made it this far in the video and you like what you see so far, consider subscribing for me. I try and put a lot of work into the videos, and if you dig what you see, hit that subscribe button for me. I'd absolutely love for you to follow me along this journey. So I also wanted to post the video. Obviously, I want to get the bike ready for Houston, all that kind of fun stuff, but I also wanted to take the time as I'm riding around here just to talk about something that comes up quite a bit, whether it be friends, folks that I meet on the internet, stuff like that. And that's just the question of, you know, should I do a track day? And I will say 100% yes. The reasoning behind it is a lot of people, it doesn't matter the motorcycle, a lot of people will grab a bike, whether it be 600, 1,000, I mean a Harley, and they'll get out and they'll just rip around on public roads and push the bike and the rider to their limits. I mean, what better place to do that than on a racetrack? And I've got a really good buddy that I work with, and he's like, man, but I don't want to go out and crash. Like, this dude's crashed twice on public roads, and if you're gonna put a bike down, what better place to put it down than in a controlled environment? Like, sincerely, not only does riding on a track give you the perfect environment to test your skills, but it also gives you a really good environment to learn and become a better rider, which I think is crazy important. Some of those skills, you know, might be a little bit more track oriented, like body position, trail braking, when to use the front brake, when to use the rear brake, stuff like that. But what's cool is these skills, these things that are oftentimes taught at track days, they can be applied to real world circumstances. Like, let's say you're coming up on a corner and you're coming in a little bit too hot. Well, if you understand the concepts behind, you know, not only trail braking, but proper counter steering, and the fact that you go where you look, that's probably one of the most important things that you'll learn, and that's like track day 101. If a car is coming at you, that's really, really scary, and so many riders will fixate, and they'll target fixate, and they'll look at whatever it is that they're coming towards or that's coming at them. You can't do that. You got to look through the corner, you got to look through the turn, and that's something that you'll learn at a track day, and I think that's invaluable. Now, when I say track day, I guess I should clarify myself a little bit more. I don't necessarily mean just like finding a local track and going out and doing a member day, although that is an absolute blast. If you've never been to the track, I'd recommend finding, you know, a track day school. And when I say school, I truly mean it. I mean a school with instructors that will teach you. Where I'm at in North Texas, we've got a couple of different organizations. We've got Ride Smart, we've got 316 track days. You know, I've got my opinions on both. I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. With Ride Smart, it's a little bit cheaper. You don't get quite as much track time, but you know what? I've ridden with them quite a few times, and I dig the service that they offer. 316 track days, a little bit more expensive, but also quite a bit more exclusive. And when I say exclusive, I mean it's typically like 3 riders to 1 coach, so you're getting very specific coaching with a rider, and typically these are folks that are, you know, Moto America racers, CMRA racers like myself. The coaching is phenomenal, and the track time that you get with 316 track days is far better, but it's also a little bit more expensive, so you got to balance those kind of things out. Now, depending on where you're at will obviously depend on the track day schools and organizations that you have, but I would highly recommend doing a track day school, not just a track day. So just wanted to be clear with that. Obviously, I think it goes without saying that, you know, riding a motorcycle, whether it be on the street or on a racetrack, it comes with its own risks. And, you know, those are things that you've got to consider. Those are things that you've got to think about. But if, again, you want to push the limits of your bike, if you've got a ZX-10R and you've never been to a track day, or you've got a $20,000 Ducati Panigale, that's amazing. Those were built for the racetrack. You know, in my opinion, I wouldn't be testing top speeds and acceleration through corners and stuff like that. I wouldn't be doing that on a public road. Get out to a racetrack, have some fun with it, and really see what your bike can do. That said, if you've never been to the track, don't be surprised if a little Ninja 250 or a 300 or a 400 or a KTM 390 R3 comes railing around you on the outside. Another thing that I absolutely love track days for is it's a really humbling experience, like really humbling. There are a lot of people that show up to a track day and they are by far the fastest of their friends in, around, and on the street. And I get it. There are a lot of people who ride on the street that are crazy fast. Like, I watch a lot of the videos from the folks out west riding around, what is it, like Mahalit? Some of those dudes are crazy fast. But I dig the track because it's humbling. It's an equal playing ground. It doesn't matter if it's a 300 or 1,000, or like I said earlier, there's some folks who've taken dual sports and Harleys out on the racetrack and they absolutely rip. But it's humbling and it's an absolute blast. What in the shit is going on here? With that, again, man, I can't reiterate it enough. If you're considering a track day, just do it. It's an absolute blast. There's nothing like it. Shoot, I would almost even venture to say that some of y'all will never ride on the street again. You'll just go strictly to the racetrack. Outside of doing these little vlogs and stuff like that, man, I don't ride on the street at all, period. So if you're considering it, definitely do it. Now, with this video, obviously I got the bike set up. I'm in GP shift now, feels good. I think I need to adjust my left rear set just a little bit. I think I've got to angle it down ever so slightly. I got to be able to get my boot underneath it for those, I guess what's now going to be downshifts. I'm in tennis shoes, so it might be okay. I'll try it out at the track, but rear sprocket's good, chain's good. Next up, Houston, Texas, round 2/5 of the CMRA Championship. I am so freaking excited. I can't even begin to tell you. So if you made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing. Next video up is going to be highlights from that round in Houston, round 2, round 5, whatever the heck round it is. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that. So again, thank you so very much for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Tony. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Now, there is a downside to racing and or track days. Most track day organizations don't make you take off your kickstand, but race organizations do. I am still incredibly terrible at the whole get off your bike, put your bike on the rear stand thing. I'm just not good at it. I also have really shitty stands, so that doesn't help.